Welcome to Oldsmob 455. When you make videos, you have the benefits of having you people, the subscribers, that sometimes make comments. And a guy from Yeti Racing, he ended up saying, hey, I got parts for your car. You can see one of the parts was a deck lid. He was a racer, and on his website, he's got a dash cam or like a GoPro in the car. I think he has it on his helmet. And you would see what being a racer doing figure eights is like. I want to check it out when I get home. But he had these parts, said that we could come up there and check them out. And this was going to be a race car, and his plans changed. So it had these emblems on here. And now we're going to show you how to get these emblems off. We're going to see this little chrome piece here. So when it comes to racing, they're trying to reduce all the weight. It's just a rusty lid anyway. So they just, one of these is missing. But they gutted it all out and just put these two strips in there. The chrome strip is supposed to be attached to the inner panel, but that's all gone. So we're just going to try getting this off, and we're going to try getting these emblems off. Now you can see, like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's a barrel clip there.
Okay.
But there's like Bondo or glue or something in between there. Like the emblems may have been off at one point.
So one of the subscribers says, "Oh, Paul, I thought you'd be some kind of ingenious way of making reproductions." And I was telling him, if we had the originals and you end up making a mold with this RTV rubber or whatever, and then you pour wax in there, then you peel the rubber away, then you use the wax, dip it in plaster of Paris, and if we melted aluminum, we could make reproductions out of aluminum. And then, you know, if anybody else needed them, we'll see if it works. And if anybody else needed them, then we would make like a template, how the holes are drilled, and make some other reproduction pieces for somebody that has a 442 that the trunk lid's rusted, and they're just getting a regular Cutlass Supreme trunk lid. Then you'd know where to drill the holes and put the numbers in there, and that would make that guy's day happy. So what I just did is I walked this all the way across. When you're dealing with rust, and it gets in between the two panels, it rusts and it expands and it gets real tight. So I was just trying to free everything up. But when I got down to this side, then I got it free. So you can see how the rust just starts to adhere to it. And this might make somebody's day. It's not dented. One sacrificed. They're so brittle, even the die-cast metal is like corroding. There, it's oxidizing inside those little barrels. We're trying to loosen up that barrel, and one went clink. So you could build that up, you know, make it out of anything. It's got to be the same OD as original when you're making a mold of this. So when we were talking about trying to get emblems off of a, let's say you got a deck lid that's got the inner sheet metal, you couldn't even get at this. And then you just glue them on.
So at this point we only have one broken stud, and the challenge now is to get these corroded barrel clips off of here without snapping the rest of them.
It turns like a battery, a galvanic reaction between the two different types of metal. But we've seen that this clip has these splits. And if we can take that split and get it all the way up get rid of the top and weaken the clip. It's split on this side too. Then you can open the thing up, you know. So we gotta just cut this off on top and get these things just, because they're stuck together. The barrel is just rusted right to it. And here we are trying to save this little pin. But it's a lot of tedious. This is what a jeweler has to work with, you know, when they're fixing somebody's ring or jewelry.
You can see why there's none of these emblems out there.
This is the original trunk lid. It had the original holes, and these don't even have the barrel clips off them yet, but you can see how it lines up with those holes. This is what they're supposed to look like on the trunk lid. And now we're happy that they fit. We're going to take them and let them soak in some oil first, trying to get these things separated. We're going to use this lubricant to try to loosen up them barrels. Let them soak overnight. And hopefully we'll be able to peel them apart. Then they're caught right at the end. I mean, this is made out of pot metal. The chrome that's on there is starting to lift. You'd have to clean that all up, just like a little jeweler. And he's got all these little tools, little files. So you got to get your mold as perfect as possible. If they're made out of aluminum, you could just polish them until they're shiny enough. And then you'd have to put some kind of coating on them so they don't oxidize. Or they got chrome paint now. They got this stuff that's water-based, and they can make things that are, you see antlers that are chromed. You can make a whole car painted chrome. So, just so you have the item, he's happy. If he got reproductions, that would be cool. Other people might be happy if they could find them. So it was nice that this guy had these plastic headlight buckets. The ones that are in there are cracked. Now, it's nice that they're made out of plastic. People thought, man, it's cool when you see a Duesenberg and everything's made out of metal, but they were heavy. This car is already heavy. So if you can use plastic, the manufacturer did that to try to save on weight. But when you see somebody and they've got cracked headlight buckets and the headlight isn't being contained in a firm base, you see a car coming at you and the headlights, it's bouncing all over. It looks annoying. Plus for you driving, you know, you're trying to watch what's going on at nighttime and you got this headlight bouncing around. It's kind of, you know, ridiculous. So to get brand new ones made out of, you know, I mean, new ones, the other ones we could have fixed with glue, JB Weld, or plastic welding, whatever you want to do to get them firm. This was a score. Then we got this metal back here because this car has rust in between this panel. And we still got another vehicle to look at that is supposedly from out west and it wasn't rusted. But first we'd have to clean this whole channel out. But you can see how he cut it good, sacrificing the outside metal. And this is the outside metal. And this is the piece that you want to keep. But on this side, he cut into this piece that we want. But guess what? It would be a lot easier to make this little piece right here than all this and all this on this rusted out unit. So it was worth picking up.